What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Nikki here, and in today's video we're going to be going over how to build a dividend portfolio from scratch, and y'all already know the drill. Let's get it.
Ooh, big bag. You not talking money, you can miss me with the chit chat. I'm not with the rah-rah or the rip.
So you guys, I'm gonna give like 5 things that I feel like are the most crucial, even though there's honestly probably a lot of things depending on who you ask. But in my opinion, if I were starting over again from zero and building a dividend portfolio, these are the things that I would do right away. Number 1, find and use a reputable brokerage. I know it's really easy to get on here and start a Robinhood or a Webull or a Moo, which there's nothing wrong with that. And I do, and I have said before, recommend opening different portfolios. Keep yourself separated for your goals and what it is that you're trying to do. If you are interested in that and you do want to use one of those platforms for kind of a side portfolio, which is what I recommend using those for, I do have a link down in the description box. You can sign up, get some free money after you deposit $100. Helps me out, helps you out. It's free money, so might as well. But let's think about this for a second. Let's think about your portfolio hits $3 million in 10 years. Do you really want that in an app like Robinhood? Do you really want the history, rumors, and the issues that Robinhood has had to be looking over that portfolio? Now, I would recommend looking at more historically sound or more traditional type brokerages like Fidelity, E-Trade, Charles Schwab. And if you guys are kind of interested, I used to have a Robinhood portfolio. That's where I started, but I do have a video about transferring from Robinhood to E-Trade. I will link it down in the first comment below. You can check it out after this video. But I just really wanted to put my money somewhere that I knew had a little bit more history. And I know E-Trade has had its problems, but something about Robinhood and these other places make it a little scary. Second thing I would do, learn the vocabulary of the market. So look up, research, understand what these words mean. Words like PE ratios, dividends, stocks, a balance sheet, a dividend yield, and the most important, in my opinion, for dividend investing, besides maybe the yield, is the payout ratio. Now, honestly, fully understand what these mean, because words have meanings and meanings have consequences. And if you know anything about dividends, the higher the yield, not necessarily the best decision for your portfolio. Here's a little like a 2.5 before I get to the third reason here. Don't just watch YouTubers and do what they do. Don't just watch someone like an Andre or a Kevin or a Jeremy. Quite honestly, I mean, I don't even know what they make anymore because I haven't watched them in a very long time. But please do not just follow blindly what people are doing. Use it as a piece of education for yourself to kind of open some doors, open some thoughts about what you could be doing, but don't ever just do it and do what they do. And I did that in the beginning a little bit. I learned really quick. Now, this next one, number 3, is one that I'm very proud of, and I honestly don't think if you were to find a lot of videos like this, they would mention this to you, but I would take 2 weeks and write down everything that you buy, things that you use, what makes you happy, what makes you smile, what had made you say, wow. Where are you going? Like, what is it that you are doing on a day-to-day basis? And I will explain why that is all important to be doing that for a couple weeks in tip number 5. But I just think that that's going to open your eyes to a lot of cool things. Now, number 4, I wanted to say like put 20% of your paycheck into a savings account, but really you can put whatever it is that is doable for you, but push yourself a little bit. If you have to cut out eating out a couple days a week, maybe you get rid of Netflix and keep Hulu, but push yourself to put as much as you possibly can within a savings account. And I mean savings account, I don't mean your emergency fund. Now, your emergency fund is for cash and holding cash for an emergency. I'm talking about a savings account that's really just a pit stop for your money, because what you're going to do with this savings account is you're going to link that to the portfolio that you opened in one of the brokerages like E-Trade. Then, if you can and the platform allows it, set up direct deposits into that portfolio once a month, twice a month, whatever it is that you can do, because we want to get it out of the checking account into kind of out of sight, out of mind, but also into the portfolio to do what it's supposed to be doing, which is investing and building your wealth. Because if it's in your checking account, you're going to spend it. If you can see it, you're going to spend it. Get it going in a savings account that's linked. Don't just leave it in the savings account because the money will die. Here's another little bonus. God, I'm just full of bonuses today. When you start to go out and buy things, like say, okay, I'm going to go buy this pair of shoes. It's $100. Start seeing that as a stock. I could buy these shoes for $100 right now and have some really good times in them, you know, probably go out a little, floss them a little bit, maybe pick up some baddies or whatever you guys do. I don't know. But it might be cool for a few weeks, few months. Then they get dirty and crappy and you're looking for a new pair anyway. Or you could take the $100 and buy a share of a company that pays you cash flow quarterly and grows in value. And when you start to think about everything you buy has a consequence like that, it really starts to shift things up in here. Let me tell you, I don't remember the last time I bought clothes, and I'm a female, so I can do it. You can do it. And yes, I'm not really like your girly girl kind of like, you know, going shopping at the mall all the time. We know this, but I do like to shop, okay? But when I flip my mind like that, things got way easier. Now, number 5, we're gonna go back to that list. Remember the list I told you to make for like 2 or so weeks about what you're using, what puts a smile on your face, what makes you happy? We're gonna go back to that and we're going to evaluate what we are doing, what we're buying, what you use on a day-to-day basis. Did you notice that you had a Coke every night at dinner? Maybe you should buy a share of Coca-Cola. Did you enjoy going to open houses? Are you trying to flip real estate? Did you spend a lot of time in Lowe's looking at interior design, possibly for a project you're working on? Maybe you should buy Lowe's. I say that too much. Anyway, you get the point. Do you track your morning workout on an iWatch? Do you use a MacBook? Do you call your friends on your iPhone? Do you watch freaking movies and stuff on your iPad? Maybe you should buy a share of Apple. Now, I think this is possibly where I may differ from a lot of people in the fact that when they say you're starting out, you should just buy like ETS, toss your money in there, reinvest it, set it up for reoccurring investments, and like forget about it. But like, how boring is that? I really disagree with that kind of thinking. I think you need to learn things. You need to see patterns. You need to research things. You need to get involved and get some skin in the game. Like, yes, you're putting your money in there, but like when you're doing these things and you're investing in things you really enjoy and use and love, you're going to be way more with it mentally than if you just like set up some account that you like forget the password to, and you know, the security questions like, what's your first dead pet's name? And you're just like confused and it's just boring. I feel like too many people look away from the dividend investing and building a wealth and all that kind of stuff because it's boring and you can't make $10,000 in a day. But I'm here to tell you, like, it can be seriously fun. I catch myself walking into Starbucks and I'm like, I'm part owner here, or like Verizon, I'm like waiting too long. I'm like, don't they know who I am? Obviously that's all in fun and I'm joking, but like you do own things. It's really cool and it's a good way for you to sharpen up your skill set and learn something that's going to help you in your life. Plus, the longer you're in the market doing these kind of things, the more comfortable you will become with investing, and it just gets more fun the more knowledgeable you are about it. And you always keep learning, and the market is always, we know that. Okay. And if you make a bad investment, that happens. I've made plenty of bad investments. I've sold things I no longer believe in. I sold things that have done nothing for me. I've reinvested that money into things I really actually love more, because when I started, I did not do that step of focusing on what I liked. I watched a couple YouTubers talk about a company who made X amount of money, and I wanted that because I wanted to make that much money. Little did I know they had like $100,000 invested in them or something like that. Not $1,000, not $100. So in the beginning, building a dividend portfolio from scratch, do it for you, have fun. That's another thing. People forget to have fun. And that's what we're about on this channel. We like to make money and have a good ass time. So if you're into that, you should consider subscribing by joining the crew and hitting that subscribe button down underneath the video below. If you could, smash a thumbs up for you, girl, okay? It really does help the channel out. It really supports me. I'm trying to grow this thing. It's a little frustrating, but I love it so much it doesn't even matter. As long as y'all like vibing with me and riding with me, we're gonna keep doing the damn thing. If you guys are interested to see my first ever dividend paycheck video, which is pretty funny, because you should watch that and then check out the rest of the dividend videos I have. But if you're interested in seeing that and where it all started, go ahead and watch this video right here. I'll see you in that video. And you already know, if you made it this far, I absolutely love you. You are my favorite people. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.